Welcome to today's land auction via AuctionCast, the most informative method to buy and sell land at auction. I'm your host, Tyler Tissue, and joining me here on my left is Brian Haugen. Brian, why don't you introduce yourself to the crowd here today?
Well, thank you, Tyler. Good morning, everyone. My name's Brian Haugen. I'm the broker here at Land Pros, and I'm honored to be here on this day, and we will be representing the Welcome family.
Very good. On my right here, I have Craig Borchard. Craig, why don't you introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, thank you, Tyler. My name is Craig Borchard. I'm the consulting director at Ascent Financial, and at Ascent Financial, we help farmers and agribusinesses with transition and estate planning and help advise them on significant transactions.
Very good. Well, I'm looking forward to what both of you have to say here and later in the show here. We have an exciting auction today. We'll be selling 31.09 acres, more or less, for the Welcome family. This land is located in Sueur County, Minnesota. This will be offered in one track today. But before we get started, I got Brian here. You've got some more information about this farm. Let's talk about that a little bit here and let the audience know kind of a little bit more about this farm.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler. This farm in central Minnesota, located just southwest of Montgomery, Minnesota, about 3 miles south. Nice little 31 acres, like you said, that's the deeded acres on this particular farm, okay? On this farm, we have 17 and some change tillable acres. You know, if you wanted to have some extra income on this property, we're located 2 highways, real close to the intersections, just south of Montgomery, Highway 13 and Highway 99. So blacktop, kind of very favorable for what folks are looking for. One thing we want to talk about a little bit is the cell tower. There is a cell tower on this property. So the great thing is if you're going to build your dream home, you're not going to have to worry about cell service. It's going to work pretty well.
So, depends on who you have, I guess.
Yeah. So that's a great thing. There already is a driveway into the property, and later on Alex, our agronomy expert, is going to talk about the soils and talk about that driveway. But your driveway is already there. We have utilities out on the road, so ready to build. Perfect little property. You know, when you can get 2-3 miles out of a nice city like Montgomery, that's very favorable.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely,
we're looking at that potential. Of course, these real estate taxes on this are very, very low. $1,228 a year. Now, once you build your dream house, I'm sure the assessor's going to stop by.
That'll go up a little bit.
So this particular farm will be positioned that way. There's going to be some wildlife crossing through there.
Yep.
There's some small portion of wetlands involved, and again, we'll let Alex talk about that a little bit later. But key points: location and location and location.
Absolutely.
Right? So we always talk about that in real estate. In this particular nice little affordable farm where one can have their own 31 acres of privacy and wildlife, and you just kind of have it all here, location.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
But that's what we have, and we're excited, and we're honored again to represent the Welcome family.
Hey, well, I'm looking forward to the auction here. So we do want to welcome all of our on-site and online bidders. Thank you for joining us here at AuctionCast. I would like to point out a few things to our viewers. Make sure you are aware of the documents online about today's auction. These are located on the Documents tab of the bidding screen or on the website under the property. At any time, if you'd like to bid by phone, have any technical issues, or have questions, please call the number on your screen. Our auction manager, Greg Jensen, and our team are ready to answer your questions and take your bids over the phone via text or by email. I would also like to take this moment to introduce our auctioneers for the day, Greg and Sonny Jensen. Greg has been in the land auction business for over 50 years and brings a wealth of experience with him to AuctionCast. Sonny Jensen is a third-generation auctioneer with a number of achievements under his belt already in his young career. So thank you for joining us here at AuctionCast, and let's get the auction started with Mr. Greg Jensen.
Thank you, Tyler. I'd like to welcome our bidders that came here, and also Greg, welcome. We welcome you. I'm going to read the terms and conditions. I'd also like to say hi to my friend Don out there who's watching today. We're selling for the Welcome family. The method of sale will be dollars per deeded acre unless otherwise indicated by the auctioneer. It will be dollars per deeded acre. Deeded acres may change because of the survey or other factors, in which case the total acre price would be adjusted to reflect that. That shouldn't be a problem. Seller reserves the right to accept or reject any or all bids. The auction company and the seller reserve the right to preclude any person from bidding if there's any concern as to the person's credentials or fitness to bid or enter into a contract. The agency, Land Pros Real Estate LLC and its agents represent the seller. The conditions of the sale is subject to all easements, restrictions of record, covenants, and leases. Lines on the map are approximate, and the buyer should verify the information. Each bidder is responsible for conducting their own inquiries and due diligence efforts at their own risk concerning the subject property. All property is sold as is, where is, with no warranties. Contract and title. Immediately upon the conclusion of the auction, the highest winning bidder will enter into a real estate contract or purchase agreement and provide funds for earnest money to be deposited with the real estate and auction company. If the winning bidder is online, we will immediately contact you and make arrangements for the earnest money payment, and purchase agreement will be sent via DocuSign. Seller will provide owner's title insurance policy and clear title at their expense. Sale is not contingent upon buyer's financing. Closing date is on or about the 5th, 5/10/24. Terms in possession. Today is $25,000 non-refundable down on this tract. Balance is due at closing or on or before May 10th, 2024. There will be a 3% buyer's premium added to the final purchase price. The buyer will have possession of the farmland for field work as soon as the purchase agreement is signed. Any statement, that could be soon, any statement made the day of the auction takes precedence over printed material. All information provided herein was obtained from sources deemed reliable, but neither the auction company nor the seller guarantee its accuracy. I am going to turn it over to Sonny Jensen.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be the auctioneer for today. My name is Sonny Jensen. We've got people on the internet. We got people on the floor. We're going to get going. So we had $3,000 as a starting bid. Then we got $3,500 as a starting bid. We're going to take $3,500. Let's roll. If here, down 35, now 4. And now 4,000, down 35, 4, down 4,000, and now 3,500, give me $4,000, down 4,000, down 4, down 4,000, and now 3,500, down 4, now 45, and now 45, down 5,000, down 45, now 5, down 5,000, and now 45, 500, down 5 here, down 5,000, down 5, now 5, give me 5, and now 4,500, give me $5,000, down 5,000, down 5,000, down 5,000, 5,500, down 5 here, down 5. And now $5,000, 4750, 4250. We got 4250. Now 5. Down 45. 545. Now 7.5. And now 4750. Down 47 half down there. And now 4750. What do you think on the net? Down 47 down there. Down half down there. And now 45. 4750. Down 45 down there. Down 7 half down there. And now 46. 47. Down 46. 7. Now down 45. We got 5,051. And now $5,000 51 down there. Down $5,000 51. And now $5,000. Give me 51. Now 5,000 down there. Down 51 down there. Down $5,000 51 down there. I like the way he bids. $5,000 51. And now $5,000 51. $5,000 51 down there. And now $5,000 51. $5,551 down there. And now $5,000 51. Give me 51. Down 5,000 down there. Down 51 down there. What do you think on the net? And now $5,000 51 down there. Down $5,000 51. $5,000 51 down there. And now $5,000 51. $5,000 51 down there. Down 5,000. Give me 51. And now $5,000 5100 down there. Down $5,000 51 down there. And now $5,000 5100. Down 5,000 down there. Down 51 down there. Down $5,000 51. And now $5,000 51. You want to do one? And now $5,000 51 down there. Down 5,000 51. $5,000 51 down there. Down $5,000 51. And now $5,000 51. $5,000 down there. Down 51 down there. And now $5,000 51. Down 5,000 down there. Down 51 down there. And now $5,000 51. $5,000 51. $5,000 51. $5,000 51 down there. I think we're going to take a little recess, and we will be right back. Tyler, take it away.
Very much, Sonny. So right now we have $5,000 asking $5,100. I do want to introduce on my left here. I have Alex Wayne. Alex is our agronomy expert. So Alex, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience here today as well?
Yeah, thank you, Tyler. I'm Alex Wayne. I'm from Ellendale, Minnesota. I've been an agronomist. I own a seed dealership. I've been involved in agriculture, whether it's supporting farmers or selling farmland for basically my whole career.
Probably since you were born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at this farm, we just digging into the soils right away. CPI 0 to 100. 100 is the best. This is right at an 80, which is a great farm.
Yeah.
You actually look at the soil types. You've got Laerdal clay loam. You've got some muck soils, and you've got silty clay loam are the three top soils. So your organic matter is going to be high. It's going to hold moisture well. It's a great little farm.
Yep.
You compile that with being a buildable site.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a dream site. You know, you've got really productive farmland, and you can build your dream house.
And it's right off of Blacktop.
And it's right off Blacktop. And like Brian said when we were coming into here, location, location, location.
Yep.
That's all of real estate.
Yep.
That's
every
what we
single bit of it.
preach
Yep.
over and over and over again.
Not too far away from town there, just far enough outside of town that you don't have tons and tons of neighbors on top of you.
Yep, absolutely. He did say it's open to farm as well. It's been rented, but it is open.
And the current renters
And
is
he'd be interested
in
in renting it. Yes. Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Yep. Very good. Well, thank you very much there, Alex. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get right back here to this auction. Welcome back to AuctionCast, everybody. So when we left, we were at $5,000 an acre here, and I'm going to pass this off to Sonny and see if we can get a little more out of this.
Thank you, Tyler. I've got big news, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be a new owner today on this farm, so now's the time. You got to buy it right now. There's no time to wait. Let's go. Here we go. $5,000, 51. Down 5,000 deer, down 51. And down $5,000, 51. You came here to buy it. You might as well. And down $5,000, 51. I'm at $5,000, 51. Deer, down $5,000, 51. $5,000, 51. And down $5,000, 51. Deer, down 5,000 deer, down 51. I got it on the floor. Got to be 51. And down $5,000, 51. I'm at $5,000, 51. Deer, down $5,000, 51. And down 5,000 deer, down 51. Deer, down $5,000, 51. And down $5,000, 51. I'm at $5,000, 51. Deer. Now's the time. And down $5,000, 51, money, $5,000, 51, deer, down $5,000, 5,100, and down $5,000, 51, you want it, and down $5,000, 51, deer, down 5,000, deer, down 51, deer, on the net, you've been quiet, and down $5,000, 51, deer, down 5,000, deer, down 51, money, $5,000, 51, deer, down $5,000, 51, and down $5,000, 51, 5,000, deer, down 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, let's roll, down 5,000, deer, down 51, $5,000, 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, down 5,000, deer, down 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, $5,000, 51, deer, down 5,000, deer, down 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, down 5,000, deer, down 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, deer, down 51, this is going to be a new owner, let's go, and down $5,000, 51, down 5,000, deer, down 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, down $5,000, 51, $5,000, 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, $5,000, 51, $5,000, 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, down 5,000, deer, down 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, what do you think on the net? $5,000, 51, down 5,000, deer, down 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, down 51, deer, down $5,000, 51, $5,000, 51, and down $5,000, 50, there's going to be no more breaks. No more breaks. We're going to be done. So now's the time. And down $5,000, 51, down $5,000, 51, deer, down 5,000, 51, and down $5,000. Now's the time. No more breaks. And down $5,000, 51, deer, down $5,000. Give me 5,100. And down $5,000, 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, and down $5,000, 51, money, $5,000, 51, one more time. And down $5,000, 51, $5,000, 51, money, $5,000, 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, no more breaks. $5,000, 51, down 5,000, deer, down 51, deer, and down 5, you done? And down $5,000, 51, deer, down 5 here, down 51, $5,000, 51, deer, we're gonna go. And down $5,000, 30 seconds, $5,000, 5,100, and down $5,000, 51, 5,000, deer, down 51, deer, and down $5,000, 51, $5,000, 51, down 5,000, deer, down 51, deer, down $5,000, 51, hammers high, and down $5,000, 5,100, deer, down 5,000, deer, down 51. Sold the farm, $5,000. They came here to buy it, and they bought it. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It sold for $5,000. I'm going to turn it back over to Tyler Tissue.
Thank you very much there, Sonny. So $5,000 an acre. It is sold, sold, sold. So congratulations to the buyer. We do want to thank all of our bidders that came and to participate today. Congratulations to our winning bidders. And we'd like to especially thank our sellers for trusting us to auction off your property here today. If you are not a winning bidder this morning, remember we have plenty of auctions that are coming up. Later today at 11 a.m., we have 87.82 acres in Goodhue County, which is right here at AuctionCast. After that, at 1 o'clock this afternoon, we have 137.27 acres in Rock Island County, Illinois, and that will be right here on AuctionCast as well. Then on November 4th, a ways down the road at 10 a.m., we have 148 acres in Freeborn County, Minnesota, and it's right here on AuctionCast as well. So our auction manager, Greg Jensen, will be in touch with the winning bidders here shortly to make arrangements. Folks, if you are thinking about buying or selling, keep Land Pros at the top of your list. You can connect with our team at landpros.com or the number on your screen at any time. Thanks again for joining us here at Land Pros AuctionCast, and have a great rest of your day.